Oh, show us the way to the next little dollar.
Oh, don't ask why. Oh, don't ask why.
For we must find the next little dollar. For if we don't find...
So many women today are famous just for how they look. So many women can't be famous because they're not thin. I mean, I think that's really problematic that you can't really be a female artist in this country and get a lot of fame and notoriety unless you're really thin. I mean, it makes you think that no larger women have anything interesting to say or interesting art or messages to give society, and that's just sad. There was hundreds of women in something called the Amazon March. This is in about 1860, 1861. Yeah, this is a great example of just how the women looked then. I mean, these were some big women. They were tall, they had really thick, sturdy thighs. And the bigger their thighs are, sometimes they would even pad their thighs. Like having big thighs and arms and big busts was kind of all about the day. They're really considered the height of beauty for their time. This is actually a burlesque troupe where for a while the man who ran it only wanted to hire women who weighed over 200 pounds. And then later on it was women who weighed over 150. The 20th century began and the times started changing. I just think of bigger women taking up more space and how that's kind of threatening to, let's face it, we still pretty much live in a patriarchal culture. I mean, who knows when we're actually going to see a female president.
What I heard in the voices of these performers is that they didn't feel in their everyday lives like they got to claim many of the things that some other women do. They didn't feel that their bodies were viewed as sexual at all. They felt, in fact, that there were these strong social, political, medical discourses that stripped their bodies of sexuality and desirability in general.
I had just started dating, and I was always really just like, okay, I guess I'll take off my clothes and we'll have sex. I couldn't take it anymore. I was just like this all the time about my body and getting naked for myself and in front of people. And I guess I just hit my breaking point and said, you know what? I'm sitting here waiting for someone to say, put your clothes back on, you fat cow. I said, you know what? Here it is. Take it or leave it. Let's hear it. I'm tired of waiting to hear it. Let it come. No one's ever come up to me and said, could you never take off your clothes again? Because really that's unsightly, and no one's ever yelled, fat cow on stage or anything like that. Just, I've actually gotten a lot of really positive feedback.
Research has shown that all women sort of experience their bodies as projects that they work on through their whole lives, right? So their bodies, their experiences with their bodies change over time, but they're never satisfied.
Once puberty hit, my metabolism changed dramatically. I was a double D bra coming out of junior high and a triple D graduating high school. And my mom didn't know what to do. She's like, my daughter's 12. I shouldn't be dressing her like a woman, but she's not quite a kid. And oh my God, she has a bust, cover her up. I don't want men to look at her like that. Not yet, not yet. When I was in high school a lot, I used to get really depressed. I'd cry a lot. What I heard a lot growing up was, if you pull back right here, see that? That's where your actual face is. All this is extra fat. I got a lot of, you'd be beautiful if you do this, which it doesn't help when you're that young because you don't know what to do with that. I'd be beautiful if I lost weight. You can either go one of two ways. Go crazy trying to lose the weight, or get depressed and eat more weight on you, which is what I did.
I didn't really grow up being told that I was beautiful. I was kind of just told that I was smart. And while that was an amazing thing, it kind of wreaked havoc in its own way on my self-esteem. And I wasn't getting any validation from really my family or anyone around me that I was pretty. And then I went off to college and I just started learning more about feminism and kind of the different complexities of it. I remember going to a gay pride march in New York City. And there was all these girls there who were so cute, and they were all shaved, and they were, they shaved their legs, shaved their armpits, they had all this makeup on. And I was so confused because I was like, I didn't think that lesbians and queer women did that. By the time I moved out here, I started, you come out here, and if you're queer, there's kind of a butch femme scene here. And I slowly started kind of identifying with them I was feeling more comfortable with myself and how I presented myself. So, I mean, it's definitely been a long, journey and struggle to be a fat burlesque dancer. It's not like, oh, since the day I was born, I knew I'd do that and that would be no big deal. I mean, obviously, it takes a lot of courage and guts to get up on stage and show your stuff when, you're bigger than a size 8.
Now, it's time and it's a place right now. Out of space.
There were lots of men in these audiences who found these women incredibly desirable, and it was interesting to hear them, sort of behind me saying things like, man, finally we get to see something substantial. Seeing some of the very thin women sort of stripped down and, hearing them comment about like, oh, well, you don't get to see much, or, it was interesting to see these men reacting to a new vision of desire and sexuality in a really positive way. The performers that I spoke with did speak a little bit about fetishization, and they really drew a line between this sort of like creepy fetish, which was really about viewing the fat body as something that was so monstrous that it provoked desire. And these women tended to really shy away from those kinds of people who would come to the performances. On the other hand, they felt, especially a queer audience of lesbian women who would come to these performances who, had greater acceptance of diverse bodies, which has been shown in the literature, and were there to sort of support them not as necessarily fat and monstrous, but as really fat and beautiful. You go to these burlesque shows and you hear, these huge audiences hooting and hollering and screaming at the stage and really bolstering these performers.
I saw this one woman, she's actually in this amazing troupe in Oakland called Harlem Shake, this woman, Simone DeLaGhetto. And I've never been so excited to see someone just take off a glove. Like, the time she took to take it off and the way she was just like caressing herself and touching herself and teasing the audience just to take off one glove. I was on the edge of my seat, and I didn't realize that like anything like that, something so simple could like make me feel so excited or so like I can't wait to see I just knew she was gonna have a hand underneath.
I think a lot of them talk about feeling an increased confidence, just not necessarily always about sexuality, but just feeling an increased confidence in themselves and their bodies after doing performance. One woman in particular, her pseudonym is Tenza Tush. She has this great quote where she says, you strip, you take command of the stage, and then you realize in your everyday life that you can do other things, like you can wear this shirt, or you can walk out in public and kind of claim some space for yourself. You can walk through the streets of San Francisco and feel the mist on your skin and realize that you feel a lot of pleasure in your body.
Boutte is my mother's maiden name. I was like, I need a name. I need something catchy, something that's a little funny. I've got big boobs, I've got a big butt. I don't know, what can I... Boutte, oh my gosh, and there it was. The fun thing about performing is that you can choose your costume. You can morph your body. I can put on a corset and have psycho hourglass, or I can not wear the corset and drape fringe underneath my belly roll and let it all shake and have everybody scream for it. It's fun. In my a lot of Boutte persona, I create the sex vixen I've always wanted to be. I think it's wonderful that my stage name has to do with my lineage, because I think my grandma would enjoy what I do.
The work that these women are doing on the stage have relevance not just for fat women, but for all women. About really taking a moment to be in their bodies, to accept and experience their bodies as pleasurable and desirable as they are. I don't think that there are spaces in our culture where we allow women